Our first award this morning is named to honor the AIA's first executive director, Edward C. Kemper, and it is one of the highest honors our association can bestow. In fact, the criteria and prerequisites of the Kemper are so select that there are often years when deserving candidates are not found, and thus the award is not even presented. But this year is different, and I'm very pleased to present the Kemper Award to an architect who has contributed significantly to the profession through service to the AIA. Here is a brief video that illustrates how our recipient, Rick Bell, has been putting his purpose of sustainable design into practice by integrating energy conservation and renewable energy resources into real-world, innovative buildings.
Welcome to the Center for Architecture.
Good evening and welcome to the Center for
How
Architecture.
many people came here by city bike?
David Byrne of Talking Heads studied design, did the bike rack that's in front of our Center for Architecture.
Rick Bell is dedicated to improving the lives of residents in the Big Apple and around the country through his particular passion for public health. New York's Fit City program, encouraging activity through innovative design, is now official city policy and inspired a countrywide Fit Nation program. In the aftermath of 9/11, just 2 months after Rick was made executive director of AIA New York, he was able to provide critical support to members hit by the destruction and economic downturn. A founder and spokesperson for New York New Visions, he helped rally design professionals to rebuild and redevelop Lower Manhattan. 2 years later, Rick helped open AIA New York's storefront Center for Architecture, a versatile and elegant space known for its public engagement and innovative programs, and for an impressive geothermal mechanical system for which he helped secure funding. Hosting over 1,000 public events and exhibitions explaining the importance of design excellence, the center is a must-see destination for anyone interested in the built environment. This shining example of the outreach power of a well-designed storefront location inspired 30 other such centers.
Thank you all for coming. The exhibitions upstairs are open to view.
In 2012, Superstorm Sandy struck. Rick again led the city's AIA chapter in a collaborative response, including a regional conference organized at the New Jersey Institute of Technology to compare projects and catalyze government response. Recommendations were captured in the post-Sandy report, and in a thought-provoking exhibit at the center reminds architects of the need to keep resilience at the forefront of design considerations.
Science and design intervention, rebuilding in a resilient way.
It's not just to have the abstract discussion, but it's to advocate for something positive.
The conversation we just heard, yes, integrates public and private.
When the City Council Chief of Staff invited Rick to brainstorm ways to create an effective program for sustainable, affordable housing, he helped co-sponsor a design competition in the South Bronx. The winning design now shelters 220 families in a location deemed unbuildable, confirming that affordable housing can be sustainable, healthy, and beautiful. Rick's fervor for intellectual and cultural exchange has led to often constructive dialogue between the U.S. architectural community and European allies. With an unfailing commitment to his colleagues and profession, Rick Bell clearly earned the distinction that the Edward C. Kemper Award confers.
We got a docking station just outside, though, for next time. It's so easy.
As an architect with a clear vision for the future and an unfailing capacity to speak to the value and power of architecture, we are very pleased to present the Edward C. Kemper Award to Rick Bell. Rick? Look at this.
Wow, look at all this. Oh my God. This is over the top. Thank you.
Turn this way.
Thank you, Helene. And thank you all for coming. It's very special to be recognized by colleagues with an award of this importance. I'm humbled to be the recipient of this honor, which is generally conferred upon individuals who've made a big difference in the American Institute of Architects and to the architectural profession. Last year, I had the distinct privilege of assisting with the nomination of John Anderson, FAIA, for this award. In Denver, John created a thriving, renovated neighborhood Lodo through force of will and the power of design. And as AIA president in 2001, John came to the World Trade Center site just after September 11th, and through his efforts and his empathy, enabled what came to be called New York New Visions. John, we applaud you as a visionary and, as we say in New York, a mensch. I could speak of many others, including my good friend Barbara Nadel, FAIA, who earned the Kemper Medallion. What they all have in common is the ability, the capability of bringing people together for common cause, for our common cause, the clarity of purpose, use of design to create community and to change lives. One person who did just that but is nearly forgotten is Edward Crawford Kemper, honorary AIA. Ed Kemper served as executive secretary and then executive director of the Institute for 35 years, starting in 1913 up till June of 1948. He'd previously worked in the Department of the Interior for Secretary Franklin Lane. During his long tenure subsequently at the AIA, which started nearly a century ago, the Institute's membership grew from 1,159 architects and honorary members to 7,886 individuals, and the AIA became involved in the issues of the day. An ardent conservationist, Ed Kemper knew that the world of buildings and that of nature were intertwined. His work at the Octagon anticipated the AIA's embrace of environmental consciousness, I'd say as exemplified by my mentor in city government, Hillary Brown, FAIA, and by visionary practitioners, including fellow New Yorkers, Randy Croxton and Bruce Fowle, and by today's plenary speaker, Ed Mazria. I especially would like to thank the AIA New York chapter, its boards, the chapter presidents with whom I have worked closely since 2011. Many of them are here in Chicago, including Joe Lerner and Lance J. Brown, who authored the Kemper nomination letter. So I thank them and ask also for this to be construed as emphatically a collaborative achievement award. As individual effort, it pales in comparison to the critical importance, I'd say, of Architecture 2030 and its founder. From Ed Kemper to Ed Mazria is an enlightened trajectory, and I'm especially proud to be the first executive director to stand here receiving an award named for our first Talking Ed. Thank you all for being here.